First sip the planet was silent. No wind, no sound, no life. A team of 6 human explorers stepped off their ship, their boots crunching over dry, cracked soil. Above them, the sky was purple, with 2 suns setting on the horizon. This planet, named Virex 9, had sent a strange signal to Earth 3 weeks ago. No one knew what it was. No one knew who, or what, had sent it. Commander Leah gave a hand signal. Spread out. Scan for structures. They moved slowly, scanning the area. Broken metal pieces were half buried in the dust. It looked like an old, alien city long dead. Everything was cold. Still. Until, guys, said Ryan, the youngest crew member. I think I found something. The others ran to him. Ryan stood in front of a massive door made of black stone. Strange alien symbols glowed blue along its edges. In the center of the door was a round opening. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Kenzo, the team's scientist, stepped forward. This door isn't just a door, it's alive. Leah nodded. Open it. Kenzo placed his scanner near the pulse. The machine beeped. The door slowly opened with a hiss. Cold mist rolled out. Behind the door was a long tunnel glowing green. They entered, weapons ready. The tunnel led them to a huge underground chamber. The ceiling was high and round like the inside of an egg. At the center of the room was a large alien creature. She looked like a queen, taller than a human, with long limbs, white skin, and glowing eyes. But she wasn't moving. Thick tubes ran from her back into glowing tanks filled with white liquid. Is she dead? Asked Ryan. No, said Kenzo. She's sleeping. Maybe in some kind of stasis. Everyone stood in silence. The room felt heavy like it was watching them. What's in the tanks? Leah asked. Kenzo took a sample of the white liquid. It looked like milk, but it glowed slightly. Let's take it back to the lab, he said. Back at the base camp, Kenzo began running tests on the liquid. The computer beeped and gave a warning. Dangerous substance. Toxic to all known life forms. Immediate death on contact. Everyone backed away. This stuff kills instantly? Said Mark, the security. Officer Kenzo nodded. Yes. Even 1 drop is lethal. Then how is the Queen still producing it? Asked Leah. No one had an answer. Ryan looked at the glowing milk with curiosity. What if it's only toxic to some species? Don't even think about it, Leah said. This isn't a joke. But Ryan was already leaning close. He picked up the vial. Just a sniff. Ryan. No. He sniffed. Nothing happened. His eyes didn't burn. His skin didn't melt. He smiled. Then, before anyone could stop him, he took a sip. The room froze. Are you insane? Kenzo shouted. Spit it out. But Ryan didn't spit it out. He swallowed. Everyone waited for him to fall. 5 seconds passed. 10 seconds. Nothing. How do you feel? Leah asked. Ryan blinked. Warm, strong, kind of awake, like really awake. Suddenly, alarms blared. One of the assistants who had touched the vial earlier collapsed. Foam came out of her mouth, her skin turned gray. Then another fell. And another. Only Ryan was still standing. Kenzo checked the logs. The milk, even a small touch kills, but Ryan drank it. Leah stared at him. How? Ryan looked confused or maybe excited. I don't know. I just felt like I needed to. And now, I feel different. The rest of the team wore gloves and masks. They locked the milk samples in a sealed box. They put Ryan in quarantine. Scans showed that his body was changing. His muscles were stronger. His brain activity had increased. He's not just immune, Kenzo said later. He's adapting, evolving. At night, Ryan sat alone in the glass room. He felt no fear, no pain, just hunger, and not for food. He looked at the small sample of milk hidden in his jacket pocket. He took it out, he drank it, and then he heard something, a voice. Soft, cold, alien. Come back to me. The hunger, The base was quiet now. 3 crew members were dead. Their bodies were sealed in cold chambers. No one spoke their names. No one knew how to explain what happened. The alien milk had touched them and they had died almost instantly. But Ryan lived. No. He was more than alive. He was changing. They put him in the medical bay behind thick glass walls. Cameras watched him every second. Dr. Kenzo ran tests every hour. Leah kept a gun close every time she visited. "How do you feel?" she asked him one morning. Ryan smiled. "Stronger? Do you feel sick? Pain?" "No. I feel better than ever." He wasn't lying. Ryan could feel something growing inside him. Not a sickness, but a hunger. A new kind of hunger. Not for food, not for water. He wanted the milk, but the lab had locked it away. The rest of the alien queen's liquid samples were sealed in Vault 6 high security, guarded day and night. But something else had started happening too. Ryan heard whispers. When he closed his eyes, he saw her, the queen. Not in full light, but in flashes. Pale white skin, glowing veins. Her head tilted toward him. Her lips did not move, but her voice echoed in his mind. "You drank my gift. Come to me again. Become more." Ryan didn't tell anyone about the voice. He knew they wouldn't believe him. He also knew they were afraid. Even Leah, his commander, didn't trust him anymore. They treated him like a threat, like something broken. But Ryan didn't feel broken. He felt chosen. That night he couldn't sleep. The hunger grew worse. His hands were shaking. Sweat ran down his face. He curled into a ball in the corner of the room. Then he smelled it. Faint, but clear, like sweet fire and metal. The milk. He stood, eyes wide, body tense. He wasn't in control anymore. His feet moved on their own. The glass door opened. He didn't question how. The hallway lights flickered as he walked. No guard saw him. No alarms rang. His feet led him down, deep beneath the base, to the storage chambers. He didn't remember entering Vault 6. It was like a dream, or a command he couldn't disobey. And there it was. A small vial of glowing milk, resting on cold metal. He picked it up, drank it. This time the effect was instant. His skin shimmered for a second. His heartbeat slowed. His eyes glowed faint blue. His teeth sharpened. His fingers twitched like claws. He fell to his knees, gasping, and then he laughed. Not human laughter, something else. And then he heard her, clearer this time, louder. "My child." The voice came from deep below the vaults, below the tunnels. He saw an image in his mind, a hidden chamber beneath the queen's resting place. Something still alive, still beating. Nest, he had to go there, but before he could move, alarms blared. Red lights. "Running boots, he's loose," someone yelled. "Seal the vault." Guards burst in, weapons raised. "Get down." Ryan turned to them slowly. His face was calm. His eyes glowed like the milk. One guard fired a shot. Ryan caught the bullet, just caught it. His hand smoked where the bullet hit, but he didn't bleed. He didn't flinch. He threw the bullet back like a stone. It hit the guard in the chest. Not fatal, but hard enough to send him flying. The others froze. Ryan looked at them. Something inside him spoke, not in words, but in pressure, in power. And they ran. Leah came minutes later. She saw the scene. The guards down. The milk vial empty. Ryan standing tall like something new. "You need to stop," she said. He smiled. "You need to follow." Then he collapsed. His body shook violently. Veins bulged. His back arched as something moved under his skin. Not bones. Something more. They sedated him. Locked him in a steel chamber this time. No windows, no doors. But inside that darkness, Ryan smiled again, because now the queen wasn't whispering. She was singing, and she was calling him home. Queen's awakening, the steel walls were thick, soundproof, Escape-proof. At least that's what they thought. Inside the sealed chamber, Ryan sat still, motionless. But his mind was not quiet. The Queen was in his head now, not just whispering. She was inside. Images flashed in his mind. Alien symbols, oceans of white milk, cities built under red skies. He saw her past, her wars, her pain, her hunger. He was no longer just human. He was becoming hers. Hours earlier, Leah stood in the command room staring at Ryan through a live camera feed. His eyes had changed. His pulse was lower than normal. And his DNA. Dr. Kenzo had run the numbers 3 times. He's not fully human anymore, Kenzo said. His blood is changing, adapting to the alien substance. Every time he drinks that milk, something inside him grows. Can we stop it? Leah asked. Kenzo shook his head. No, and if he drinks again, he might not even need oxygen anymore. Or food. He might become… what? Kenzo looked scared. Something that doesn't die. Leah turned away. She didn't want to believe it. Ryan was just a kid. A rookie. He joked too much. Ate too much. But now he looked like a god trapped in a boy's body. That night something strange happened. All the lights in the base went out. Every screen went black. Backup power failed. Emergency systems didn't come on. Then, click. Ryan's cell door opened. No one touched the controls. No one gave the command. Ryan opened his eyes. They glowed in the dark. He stepped out. No guards stopped him. No sirens screamed. He walked straight into the tunnels beneath the base, the same tunnels where they had found the alien queen days ago. But he didn't stop at her chamber. He kept walking. Down. Deeper. Through hidden doors made of bone and metal. Tunnels that weren't on any map. Doors that opened only for him. Until he reached the heart. It was a nest, huge, wet, alive. Hundreds of egg-like shapes floated in glowing green pools. And in the center, wrapped in veins and wires, was her, the alien queen. Awake. Alive, watching him. She didn't move. But Ryan heard her. My son. He stepped closer. The air felt thick, warm, sweet. His skin tingled. You drank what no other could. You survived my curse. I gave you life. Now give me yours. Ryan knelt before her. He didn't know why. It felt right. She raised one of her long, thin arms. A single drop of glowing milk formed on her fingertip. Drink and rise. He did. The moment it touched his tongue, pain hit him like lightning. Every cell in his body screamed. His bones cracked, muscles shifted, veins turned silver, but he didn't fall. He stood, and the queen, she smiled. Back at the base, alarms finally returned. Systems rebooted. Leah saw the cameras. Ryan was gone. So were half the guards. Where is he? She shouted. Kenzo checked the life signs. We lost 10 people. No blood, no wounds. They just stopped. What about Ryan? Kenzo hesitated. He's deeper than we've ever scanned. Near the queen's core. Leah grabbed her gear. We're going in. Deep in the Nestrian stood beside the queen. Her hand now rested on his shoulder. Why me? He asked. Why did the milk not kill me? She tilted her head. Because you are broken, and the broken survive what others cannot. You are not my first, but you are my best. He looked at her. What am I becoming? She leaned in. King. Suddenly, a loud blast echoed. A strike team entered the nest, led by Leah. Ryan, step away from her. He turned slowly. His eyes glowed brighter than before. His skin looked metallic under the green light, and he was smiling. She showed me the truth, he said. That's not truth, Leah said. That's control. No, this is evolution. She's using you, feeding on you. The queen hissed softly. The walls pulsed around her. We came here to study life, Leah said. Not become slaves to it. Ryan stepped forward. You Didn't come to study. You came to steal. Just like every human mission before. This isn't you, Ryan. He paused. Maybe it never was. Then the Queen screamed, a high-pitched wave of sound. Glass shattered. Metal bent. The soldiers screamed. Some dropped their guns. Some began to bleed from their ears. Ryan didn't flinch. He commanded. With a wave of his hand, the nest obeyed. The eggs began to hatch. Creatures spilled out. Thin, fast, deadly. Leah fired her weapon. One creature fell. Another leapt at her. She stabbed it with a blade. "Fall back," she shouted, but Ryan stepped into her path. "Don't make me choose," he said. "You already did." And then she pulled the trigger. Mutation, the bullet hit Ryan in the chest, not the head. Leah hadn't pulled the trigger to kill, but to wake him up. He fell backwards, crashing into the soft, breathing wall of the alien nest. The Queen screamed, again her sound wave splitting the air like a blade. Leah ran. Her team dragged the wounded. The alien creatures chased, but Ryan didn't move. Not yet. Deep inside the nest, Ryan lay still. His body wasn't bleeding. It was changing. Cells broke, apart and rebuilt in seconds. Bones cracked, then reshaped. Skin hardened like armor. His heartbeat slowed, then doubled. His eyes, now glowing completely white, blinked once. Then he stood up, and he was no longer human. Meanwhile, back at the surface base, chaos ruled. Dozens of soldiers were dead, equipment fried, comms down. Survivors were shaken, scared. Durkenzo stared at Ryan's medical files. Lines of code blinked across the screen, showing impossible results. "He doesn't have human DNA anymore," he said. "What do you mean?" asked Leah. "His body's building something new. A third helix. Alien code stitched into his cells. Can we reverse it?" Kenzo looked at her. "You want the truth?" "Yes. It's too late. He's no longer one of us." In the nest, the Queen circled Ryan, slow and graceful. "Now you see," she whispered. "You were never meant to stay small. Your world kept you blind, weak, soft. I gave you strength." Ryan didn't answer. He felt strange, powerful, but hollow. His hands could crush metal now. His ears picked up heartbeats from miles away. His skin healed in seconds, but he didn't feel human love anymore, or guilt, or mercy, only instinct and hunger. "What am I?" he finally asked. "You are a seed," the Queen said. "A beginning." "A beginning of what?" "Of the new race. One that cannot die. One that remembers the stars." "But why me?" "Because your blood carries a secret your people buried long ago." Ryan looked confused. "You're not the first to drink. You're the first to survive. But deep in your species' past, we shared blood once before. Humans were not born alone. They were shaped by us." His heart skipped. "That's not true. Why do you think your kind has always reached for the stars? Because something inside you remembers falling from them." Ryan stumbled back. His memories twisted. Childhood dreams, fears, thoughts. They all felt different now, like they didn't belong to him anymore. Maybe they never did. On the surface, Leah gathered the remaining crew. "We have to destroy the nest," she said. "With what?" asked one soldier. "We barely have power. Use the old shuttle's fusion core, rig it as a bomb. We'll never make it close. Then I'll go alone." Kenzo stopped her. "If Ryan sees you, he won't let you get near it. Then I'll make him remember who he was." Hours later, Leah stood at the edge of the nest again, wearing armor. In her hands was a small metal case, the core glowing red inside. She stepped into the tunnels. It was silent. The eggs were empty now. The creatures gone. But she knew they were close. She found him standing in front of the Queen, his back to her. "Ryan," she said. He turned slowly. His eyes were bright white. His skin shimmered like glass. He looked beautiful and terrifying. "Leah," he said softly, "this isn't you." He looked down at his hands. "I know. then fight it. He stepped closer. I tried, but every time I resist, she shows me more, things I never knew, things humans forgot. I see planets, stars, wars older than time. I see what we're becoming. We're not monsters. Maybe monsters are just truths we don't want to face. You're wrong, Leah said, lifting the case. We are flawed, we make mistakes, but we're human, and that means we can choose. The Queen's voice filled the room. She fears change. All creatures do before they shed their skin. Ryan closed his eyes. The Queen raised her arms. Creatures crawled out from the walls. Leah screamed, pulled the case open, but Ryan leapt forward and slammed it shut. He saved her. Everything froze. Even the Queen stared, confused. Why? Leah whispered. Ryan looked at her, eyes full of something almost human. Because I remember now. Remember what? My sister. My dog. The sky on Earth. The way ice cream tasted, stupid small things. Human things, and I don't want to forget them. Leah stared at him. Then help us. End this. Ryan looked back at the Queen. She didn't speak this time. She knew what he had decided. And then he turned against her. The war inside, the moment Ryan turned against the Queen, the nest changed. The walls stopped breathing. The eggs froze in place. The green glow dimmed. For a second, it felt like time had stopped. Leah stared at him, shocked. The alien Queen, silent, for the first time tilted her head, not in anger, but in disappointment. You disappoint me, she said. No, Ryan whispered. I finally understand you. Then you know this is foolish. No, I know it's human. Then the Queen let out a scream, not like before, not sound. It was something else, something that rattled the air like thunder and made the walls shake. Leah covered her ears. Blood dripped from her nose. The floor cracked beneath them. Then the nest came alive. Hundreds of alien children crawled out of the walls. Faster, sharper, bigger than before. These weren't just creatures, they were soldiers, born for war, and their target was clear. Ryan. But he didn't run. He stepped forward, eyes glowing silver, and held out both arms. Light exploded from his chest, white and cold. The creatures stopped. Confused, he commanded them, but the Queen screamed again, and this time her command was stronger. The creatures attacked. The war had begun. On the surface tower, Kenzo watched the monitors, panicked. He could see the seismic activity under the base. The tunnels were collapsing. The nest was moving, like it was a living brain under the ground. We need to evacuate, he said. Not without Leah, replied a soldier. Kenzo swallowed hard. Then we'll all die. Deep underground, Ryan fought like nothing Leah had ever seen. He didn't use weapons. He was the weapon. His arms sliced through the air like blades. His voice created shock waves. Every time a creature touched him, it burned, but they kept coming. Ryan, fall back, Leah shouted. He didn't listen. He was trapped between two instincts. Protect the humans and then serve the Queen. She was inside him still, whispering, reminding him of her promise. Drink all, become king. And in the chaos, part of him still wanted it. He turned to Leah. I can stop them, but you won't like how. What do you mean? The Queen's power flows through the milk, through me. If I drink more, I'll be strong enough. But you said it was changing you. It still is. Then don't. If I don't, we all die. Leah looked at the swarm closing in. The Queen was rising from her throne now, tall and glowing. Just come back to us, she said. Ryan nodded and ran toward the throne. The Queen opened her arms. Finally, she whispered. You understand. Ryan didn't stop. He reached her, and he embraced her. Her long fingers wrapped around him like a lover's touch. Her face leaned into his neck. She whispered something that made his heart stop. You were always mine, Ryan, even before you were born. And then, he drank. He drank from the source, directly from her body. The milk poured into his mouth like light and fire and ice. He screamed as power exploded through him. His back arched. Veins glowed. Muscles tore and reformed. He wasn't Ryan anymore. He was something else. Something more. Something not even the Queen expected. Outside the nest, Kenzo screamed as the ground split open. The Queen's chamber burst from the ground like a blooming flower. Black roots snapped and shot into the sky. And then, silence. For 10 full seconds, no sound, no movement. Then a figure rose from the center of the broken nest. Not the Queen. Not Ryan. Both. His body was human. His eyes were alien. His voice echoed in 2 tones. "It's over," he said. Leah stared. "Ryan?" He turned to her slowly. He remembered the past, but it felt like someone else's story now. "I'm not sure who I am anymore." "Then fight for who you want to be." A pause. Then he nodded. "Then help me stop her children," Leah said. But Ryan looked confused. "I already did." "What?" He pointed behind her. The creatures were standing still, frozen, waiting. "They're mine now," he said. But just when hope returned, a whisper came from deep under the nest. Not from the Queen. Something older. Something worse. "He thinks he's free," the voice said. "But he is only the first," and something massive stirred below. Not just a queen, a hive, and Ryan fell to his knees, clutching his head, because the war outside was ending, but the war inside had just begun. Burn the throne, the fire was still burning. Around the wreckage of the Queen's nest, smoke rose into the purple sky. Black ash floated through the air like dead snow. Ryan stood at the center of it all. He wasn't breathing. He didn't need to anymore. His body glowed faintly in the dusk light, part human, part something else. His skin had silver cracks that pulsed with light. His eyes no longer blinked. They watched everything. Around him, the alien creatures stood still, no longer attacking, no longer moving. They waited. Silent. Breathing in rhythm. Leah and the others watched from a distance, weapons in hand, unsure if they were safe, or already too late. Kenzo whispered, "He looks like a god." "He's still Ryan," Leah said, but even she didn't sound sure anymore. Deep in his mind, Ryan heard the voice again. Not the Queen. She was gone now. Her body burned to nothing. Her throne turned to ash. This voice was older, colder. "You have tasted her gift, but you have not met the one who gave it to her." Ryan dropped to his knees. The light in his veins flickered. His thoughts cracked. He saw visions, giant starships floating above dead worlds, alien kings made of bone and flame, and something darker behind them all. A source, a maker, a hunger that never ended. He fell into a memory that wasn't his own. A prison under a black sun, a voice crying for freedom, a deal made in blood and stardust. The Queen, she had never ruled. She had only served. "You thought you were the king?" the voice said. "But you are just a gate." Ryan opened his eyes, screaming. On the surface, the earth shook again, but this time, it wasn't coming from the nest. It was coming from below. Kenzo stared at the scanners. It's opening." "What is?" Leah asked. He turned slowly. Something beneath the Queen's throne. Something even deeper. They ran. Beneath the nest, a tunnel opened by itself, smooth walls, glowing faint red. It pulsed like a living heartbeat. Ryan stood at the entrance. "Don't go," Leah said. "I have to." "You don't owe them anything." "I'm not going for them," Ryan said. "Then why?" He looked down the tunnel. "Because something is coming. And if I don't face it now, it will rise anyway. Stronger, faster, and it will not stop." Leah stepped beside him. "Then we go together." Ryan looked at her for a long time. "No," he said quietly. "This path is only for me." And he walked into the dark. Far below, the tunnel opened into a massive chamber. Round, hollow, like the inside of a star. In the center floated a dark throne, twisting, moving, made of bones and metal and something else. Something alive, and sitting on that throne was a creature shaped like smoke and teeth. Its eyes were voids. Its mouth moved without sound. But Ryan could hear it. You have carried the milk. You have spread the seed. You have awakened the line. Who are you? Ryan asked. I am the first breath. The true queen was my vessel. Her milk was my blood. You created her. I create everything. And now, I take it back. A chain of dark light shot from the throne, wrapped around Ryan's chest, pulled him forward. He fought. But inside him, something wanted to obey. On the surface, Leah watched. The scanners. His signal is fading. We have to pull him out, Kenzo said. We can't reach that deep. We don't have time. Look. He pointed to the sky. Black cracks were forming in the clouds, like space itself was splitting. Something was pushing through. Leah clenched her fists. He's not gone. Not yet. Inside the throne room, Ryan screamed. His body glowed bright white, pushing back against the chains. The throne shook. The creature snarled. You cannot resist. You drank me. You are mine. But Ryan smiled. You're wrong, he said. I didn't drink you to become like you. I drank you to understand you. Then die with that understanding. No. Ryan lifted his hands and pulled all the light in his body into his chest. He spoke one word. Burn, and he exploded. The chamber vanished in fire and white light. The throne cracked. The creature screamed. The ground above shook as if the planet itself was crying. Leah fell to the floor, holding her ears, watching as the alien creatures around her dropped one by one, and then silence. When the light cleared, Ryan stood alone. His body was broken, burned, dying, but alive, and in his hand was a piece of the throne, cracked and dark. He walked back up, slow and weak. Leah met him at the entrance. Did you kill it? She asked. No, he said. Then what happened? Ryan looked up at the sky. I heard it. Is it coming? He nodded. Yes. How long? He dropped the throne piece into her hands. Long enough to prepare. The last sip the world was quiet. The sky above Virex 9 had changed. Where there were once stars, now there was only a dark spiral, a slow-moving wound in the universe. Silent. Deep. Watching. The surface base was half destroyed. Walls cracked. Towers broken. Alien vines still grew in the shadows. But inside the command room, Leah stood over a table. Maps. Reports. Photos. Preparation. He says we have 7 days, Kenzo whispered. 7 days until what? Asked a soldier. Ryan's voice answered from behind them. Until the real war begins. They turned. He looked older now. Not in age, but in weight. As if each step carried 1,000 memories. His skin was pale, glowing faintly. His veins shimmered under the surface like buried rivers. I slowed it down, Ryan said. But it's still coming. What is? Leah asked. He looked up. The one behind it all. The maker of the hive. The architect of the milk. It sleeps between galaxies. It wakes only when it finds a new world to feed on. And now it found Earth. Ryan nodded. Later that night, Leah sat beside Ryan at the edge of the broken nest. Moonlight poured through the cracked ceiling. Why didn't you destroy it fully? She asked. Because I couldn't, Ryan replied. Not alone. But you burned the throne. I only burned its voice. Its true body is still in the dark, waiting. I can feel it. Inside me. Leah looked at him. So what now? He looked at the metal case beside him. The last vial, one final dose of alien milk, thicker than the others, brighter, more dangerous. This is the first drop, Ryan whispered. The source. Older than the queen. Maybe older than time. And what happens if you drink it? I stop being me. Leah stood. Then don't. He stared at the vial. If I don't, we lose. If I do, I might become the thing I'm trying to fight. Then find another way. There is no other way. The next day, the sky screamed. A shadow fell over the planet, stretching from horizon to horizon. Ships, not built. Grown. Alive. Twisting like worms through the stars. The hive had arrived. Panic hit the base. Alarms rang. Weapons readied. Soldiers ran to stations, but none of it would matter. Nothing built by humans could fight what was coming. Inside the command center, Ryan stood alone. The vial glowed in his hand. Kenzo whispered to Leah, "If he drinks it, we don't know what he becomes." "If he doesn't," Leah replied, "we know exactly what happens." Outside, the ground split open. Dozens of queen creatures burst out, larger than buildings, all screaming in unison. Behind them, skyships landed, dripping, with slime spilling thousands of alien foot soldiers, and in the center of them all, a hole in the sky, the mouth of the Maker. A voice filled the air, not sound but thought. "You were mine. You drank me. Now return and merge." Ryan walked to the center of the battlefield, the vial still in his hand. Leah ran after him. "Don't do this," he turned. "I was never meant to survive this. I was meant to lead them, to join them. But something changed." "What?" "You." He held the vial up. "This is not for power. This is for one last chance." And then, he drank. Light exploded across the sky. Creatures screamed. Ships cracked. The earth shook. Ryan fell to his knees, arms wide, screaming. His body tore apart, burned from the inside, and rebuilt in seconds. He stood. No longer man. No longer alien. Something new. His skin glowed gold. Wings of light unfolded from his back. His eyes burned like stars. And the hive hesitated. For the first time, it feared. "I'm not your king," Ryan said, voice shaking the ground. "I'm not your son. I'm not your enemy." He raised one glowing hand. "I'm your cure." And then he struck. With one blast, the nearest queen exploded into dust. Creatures turned to ash. The sky itself cracked open. And through that tear, Ryan stepped into space, flying faster than any ship, racing toward the hive core. In the final moment, Ryan reached the heart of the swarm, a world of flesh, eyes, mouths, whispering voices. The true hive. It spoke once more. "You belong to me." "No," Ryan replied. "I belong to Earth." And he unleashed his final power, not rage, not hate, but something alien had never known. Sacrifice. His body became light, his soul burned through the hive, and the darkness died. Back on Virex 9, Leah stood under the now clear sky. No ships, no swarm, just silence, and the sound of wind again. Kenzo walked beside her. "He did it," he said. "Yeah," she whispered. "He burned the throne." Months later, Earth received a signal. A small pod landed in a desert. Inside was a child, human in shape, but with glowing silver eyes. And in his hand was a tiny glass vial of white liquid. A voice played in the air. "Are you ready? For a sip?"